Good evening, everyone. This is Samuel Lombardo, the CEO and Executive Director of SL Models and Talent Agency LLC, and yours truly, Suave Dance Studios LLC, and V Smart Vocational School of Models, Artists, and Radiant Talent. Unleash the artist within and let your light shine. So some of the key components of this video are going to be adding more information about what vSmart is, our grant program. I'm going to introduce you into what the grant program is. I'm also going to give you a tutorial on professionalism relating to the arts or in general. I'm going to be explaining a few things in details with that, and this should be a much shorter video in time. Hopefully I want to try to keep it within 30 minutes. So no further ado, Vocational School of Models, Artists, and Radiant Talent. Why do we use the word radiant talent, and what does this mean? So let's take the whole title of what the school is. vSmart is a school for models and artists alike. And when we consider the artists, we subtract the talent sometimes. And a lot of you think that they actually are the same thing, but in reality, they are slightly different. Like there are production artists, there are design artists, there are corporate artists, there could be fine artists, there could be performing artists. But the talent is what you have that collaborates the artistry. Like whether you're a singer, an actor, or a fine art like drawer, sculpture, model, designer of any sorts of photographer. You all are artists in your own way, but the radiant talent in this topic tonight, and also within the mission of Vocational School of Model, Artists, and Radiant Talent, is literally about the radiant talent that is going to shine through the artists and models of whom we would be training. Now, vSmart is not anything to do with the agency. The agency has a whole lot to do with the vSmart, though. And this is the reason for it. vSmart needs a career center in it, and it also needs co-op programs and etc. So if you are trying to start something in your community that you would like vSmart to be a part of, and it's relevant to the performing arts, entertainment, or whatever the case may be, you can definitely address that to the Career Center. You're going to have to excuse me tonight because I just got done eating a little bit because I've had a huge busy day trying to get everything lined up for pro artists, which I will explain in a little bit. With SL Models and Talent Agency. So I've been back to back with meetings and clients and everything today. So a whole lot was going on the phone and on the internet, and I just finally got a chance to actually get something done, hence the reason why I'm here to make a video for the closing of my night tonight. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the grant because we are actually going to be having a grant program. And first I want to explain what the Vocational School of Models, Artists, and Radiant Talent grants are. Like what would be the sponsorship of this. So vSmart is actually going to be a nonprofit level, industry level. And there will be a foundation portion of it that I'm going to be addressing, so I'm working those out, as well as the newest, we're getting things ready for a huge collaboration on a models and talent guild. And SLMTA is working in the ramifications of developing a union that is going to be representative to other unions within the entertainment industry, as well as those who are trying to build up a brand. But there are very specific qualifications for these things, so I'm going to bring a little bit of the generalization of this. But first, we have what we call the TAG grant. That's a tuition assistance grant that basically the SMART is going to use to determine how much of the tuition will actually be waived for the student. And there are qualifications that state what the income levels are, and etc. So some of the things that we would be looking for in this case would be tax returns of either the parents or the tax return of an individual that is age 18 or older, or that you have a job. If you're under 18 years old, it's still going to be based off of your parents' tax return of the previous year that we go by. And from what I understand, your minimum TAG grant would actually be for $5,000, and that would be for someone who is making over $100,000. So there you go. If anything $100,000 or more, there is no TAG grant. Anything $100,000 or less would be a TAG grant available for those students. If you are considered a dependent to your parents, then I would still need your parents' tax returns to initiate the financial aid. That's going to be the financial aid process of it. Now, I have done my research as well, and students can still get scholarships and still have them be accepted to the V-Smart, as long as it is a registered and, the very least, a licensed school, vocational school, or some kind of, college or university. Well, I'm not a college or a university yet. I didn't get to that part yet. We are just starting off as a vocational school, and the vocational school is basically, it still has a licensed procedure, but we are working on getting that licensing procedure. So now we are going to try to get the first step of student so that we can start getting our graduating class, our first certificate, out to a group of students. So with that being said, as of last night, we have mentioned that V-Smart has a process of, both elimination and acceptance to the school. And right now we're only looking at 5, and this is only because we're limited to the license with Blackboard to be able to do online schooling, that because they're going to be the huge platform, the human resources, the advisement, the application process, the funding, financial aid, everything's going to be happening through this program, and it's a license for up to 500 students to learn at one time. So we are going to be looking for the best 500 students, and right now I can tell you that we are still accepting We have actually started accepting applications before they even happen, And we're actually going to we're going to have an application process on our website, and we're going to have an application process that's going to be on a Google form that's going to be connected to Eventbrite until we actually get the school website up. Now, the school website is determined to be up within the next 3 months, and that is going to be just simply this, vsmart.org. And that's what it's going to be, vsmart.org. And so we are working on getting that .org site and actually get some basic information for you guys within the next month, okay, which will be the same thing with the SL Models and Talent Agency LLC. We're going to have the Modeling and Talent Agency's website up, but it's going to be on a finished product with just additions happening here and there. September 30th will be the deadline for actually getting the site up. So you will actually get to see the site and everything. And we are excited again that we do have pro models. We'll explain more about that as time goes on when we are receiving the information, because we do want to broadcast them. And there will be a chance that you will get to see them broadcasted live right here on SLMTA live, YouTube, and also Facebook chats. Now, they will be edited formats and some creations happening through Zoom. And then they will be implanted and going into the YouTube channel. But these are our first pro models that we will be working with that are ready to actually get to work. And I'm not just saying getting ready to get to work. They've already been at work. We're just going to be an addition to these individuals. So when you see them, give them that thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because you don't want to miss any of this that's coming up. Now, we are sincerely ready to give the grants to students that are accepted. How do you get accepted? There are several ways. I'm going to probably end up doing a series of videos on vSmart, because there are certain things for various different programs. But generally speaking, if you are going to be in the college honor program within these programs, you will need to have very good high SAT scores, GED scores if you didn't have a diploma. If you are working in from your high school levels, we are developing an online high school program that will also include the training for your performing art, so that way then you can actually get booked through the agency, learn what you need to learn about the entertainment industry, but at the same time you will also be able to study your high school work. And it will all be in due timing, because the instructors know what you're really out to get, and therefore they're going to monitor your workload in high school against what you really actually are here to learn. But there are strict guidelines, like you got to have science programs, things like that. We are going to have some language classes available too for anyone that wants to learn other languages or accents, dialects, whatever the case may be. If you're into music, solfege, and hearing, sight singing, etc. Like, there are all kinds of classes. Some of these classes are going to be mandatory. Like, for example, as I used yesterday, the classes in the opera program require you to excuse me, to not just know English, woo, but you'll also need to know Italian, German, and French. So there will be some classes in that, and I do teach some of those classes as well. But there's a strong arts administration program for anyone that wants to start a tour management company or another booking agency. If you want to know about how to start a production shop, what you have to do to get these things started, and we're going to go into some of those details in a minute when I talk about professionalism. Excuse me. So, in other words, we are going to build up a very strong hub for new faces that really want to get and dig deep in what this is all about. And we do not accept any instructor at all that does not have the degrees that are required to teach it. In other words, at the minimum, it's a master's degree that these instructors will have to teach, but they will also have astounding experience, okay? Like resumes that are legitimately going to be 14 pages long with their life history on it, and a bio that could be up to 3 pages long of everything that they can tell you about who they are. And we suggest that you take time to read them and to respectfully greet your instructors when you are accepted, because you will know who the instructors are even prior to attending the class. We want you to be well acquainted to each other. V-Smart, as well as SL Models and Talent Agency LLC, we also like to run our companies as a family company. So you guys are dear to our heart. We are very professional in the sense of what is the best that we can do for our students, for our artists, for our models, for the radiant talent, as I mentioned earlier in this video. And so now I want to take the time to actually talk about professionalism, because this is a little bit more of the importance. So everyone knows, okay, exactly what is going to happen. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a few videos. One is actually going to be me improving what it would actually look like at an audition, okay, for whether it's going to be a new face coming to me, okay, you know, to SL Models and Talent Agency LLC, or if it's a new face that is trying to audition, say, for V-Smart. I'm going to be doing a nice, beautiful rendition of my own improv of how it would look, what you may want to look like, all those kinds of things is what you are going to be in a treat for come tomorrow. But for right now, your audition, you always want to have about maybe 1 to 2 minutes at max. But in 1 minute, you should be able to introduce yourself in the presence of who you are, where you started, and where you become. And so that would be a situation where I'm Dr. Samuel Lombardo, and I have done many programs within SAG, and I'm a member of AGMA, and now I am speaking with different places like Vogue and Wilma to increase my clientele here for SL Models and Talent Agency LLC. Next. That would be my introduction, so to speak. Now, that's not really the improv, but I'm just kind of giving you a run-of-the-mill way that you would introduce yourself. Sometimes you want to be careful of your particles because you don't want to be like some other individuals where you get the words the, may, and could and should all mixed up when possibility still means the same thing as will try. So what we do is we have to expand possibility in the light of that you are possible to bring and let your light shine. Okay, because that is what SLMTA is all about. It is about giving you the possibility to bring your light, to let it shine. All right, but we have to understand what the actual word means. So we have to mean what we are saying. And the way that we mean what we are saying is always good to have more than less. It'd be like this, it'd be like you trying to budget for something, right? And you know that it could cost you $150, could, right? It could cost you $150. So maybe you might need $300. So if you've been surveying different things for this particular thing that you want to do, and you find out that the highest bid is $350, then you might want to think about having a $350 budget. Why? Because there is that possibility that it could cost you $350 for something that could actually also cost you $150. So there's a possibility in either way. All right. Now, what I like to say is think positively, excuse me. Woo! Yeah, long night tonight. Now, thinking positively actually extracts the possibility to a more reality. How do we like that? Reality. So when we are actually doing the work, it is real. We are being real. We are being creative. We are being positive. We are being courageous. We are being ethical. We are being safety. We are being, you get it? You are the being. Let your light shine. Exactly. Now, with that, I am happy to say that the conversations of last night went astoundingly graciously well, and now it is time to be real. So with this video that I'm illustrating today, at least for the last 10 minutes of this, is the professionalism. See, a lot of people think that the look is everything professional. But, you know, look at me today. I'll be very honest. I got my Hulk shirt on. See? Hulk. Performance fishing. So, hey, you might be the mastermind fisher out there. Come on, we'll get you signed right in. No, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, if you know what to do with fish and you can add it to our creative table, bring it on. Let's do a collaboration. Let's see what happens. But the designer of this shirt, man, they know what they're doing. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about professionalism and what I mean by branding when it comes to SLMTA. This might actually be a little bit longer of a 30-minute thing. but I want to be very straightforward and transparent. So yeah, we can have the look, but we have to have the attitude of what we are doing. Now, I'm going to improv something to you real quick, and I want you to see exactly what I mean at the very least for a 10:30 at night video. I'm going to try to improv this. So I want you to see exactly what it is to be professional at what you do. And so my commercial is about the rose water and ivory candle from Wild Barn. Okay. Wild Barn. What I meant to say, from White Barn, excuse me, from White Barn. And I want you to see where even my one mistake that I just did, as much as I am being professional and acknowledging that I made the mistake, when you're on the real camera and they're asking you to shoot for a commercial, and you keep saying Wild Barn through the whole entire thing, it is imperfectly perfect. What does that mean? It means that you have the imperfect statement of where it came from while being perfect addressing what it really is. So now people are going to be out there really looking for Wild Barn when it's really a product of White Barn. What am I trying to say here too is, in order for you to know what it is that you are addressing in a commercial, you got to know the product. So if you gave it to me and I said, ooh, okay, I'm doing the commercial now. This is what an unprofessional look would be. Oh, it's a candle. From Wild Barn, rose water and ivory, scented candle made with essential oils. Wow. Now take that one and you could go just like this. White Barn introduces one of the best essential oil candles made in water, rose, and ivy. And it has such an elegant and delightful smell that it can bring radiance to your room. And it will also make you some smooth skin with the oils that this candle can produce. Be very careful that it doesn't burn you, blah, 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 you know, all that fine stuff that you will hear in the background. But that is the commercial. That is more like it. But if you're sitting there like, well, I don't know what White Barn is, and, oh, it's a candle. Oh, no, okay, it's a candle. What does the candle do? It's made with essential oils. I mean, and this one is rose water and ivy. Okay, yeah, that seems about right. I mean, really, I mean, this is like, oh, look at this. The fragrance, no, soft rose petal. There's rain-kissed ivy, spring musk with essential oils. I mean, really? We could just take the product and figure that out for ourselves. But I wouldn't want to buy a product if I got somebody there like, I don't know what this is. And they're reading it from the can, and it's like they don't even know what a candle is. You know? So that's why I'm saying professionalism is you have to know your product. You have to know what it is that you're that you are selling. You have to know what it is that you're advertising. You got to know the brand. You got to know who the designer is. Do your homework. Research the homework, people. Do your work. It's not just about the training. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest details that we have at vSmart is that when you are done, your hands are going to be tired from researching trends of everything and writing research papers on exactly what those trends are, and then have to go out to field trips to go and speak to designers to find out how their designs became the way that they are. If you want to be a true designer, you have to know what's out there, and you have to know the competition behind it, or find a way to collaborate your art with the design work that is coming from the person you're speaking with. But that would be like me going to an agency and saying, well, I would like to collaborate with you on starting a school. Oh, okay. Sure. How many students do you have? Well, I'm just starting out, and I got a mission. I got a mission statement and a vision. Okay. Do you have any platforms? Do you know what you're doing? Well, unfortunately, I have my mission statement, so I know where I'm going there. That's flying colors. I'm good there. But I really need an agency. Well, do you know who we are? Well, I know that you are like FIG, agency, and that you have very well established artists, and I think they could be a good start to the program that I'm beginning. What do you think? Well, unfortunately, you have nothing to bring to the table but a mission statement, and I can show you how you can expand and what you need to do to start the school and get the training or whatnot, but I'm not sure if it's something I feel ready to collaborate on right at this moment. Well, that's understandable. Maybe we could work out the details later. Now, that was literally 3 minutes of me improvising something that is just way out of this world. That's probably not how something should look like. That is where you make a mistake, that you have nothing and you're trying to make a collaboration. But if I were to come to you like this and say, all right, Mr. Lombardo, I can see that SL Models and Talent Agency has its work. It has, you want to enlighten the world with your artists and unleash that artist within them. I can see that you are branding artists. I can see that you are, you have what it takes to book the best possible bookings, and that you got the clients that are just going to terrorize the faces of these new faces that are coming on in and just making it big. No, I don't mean terrorize as in like something destructive. I'm talking like really just blowing up the entertainment industry with the possibilities that even the new faces or those who are now trained to be pro models can actually expand, and they know what they are doing because other people, other agencies and whatnot within the industry have built them up to their potential. That's what we are looking for. Here at SL Models and Talent Agency, that is what we are looking for. And therefore, I could say this person's ready. Do you want them? Hey, look at this one. Oh, look at this shoot that they just doing. Oh, by the way, let me share this YouTube channel of all these photo shoots that are happening live stream. We got some live streaming going on here. Oh, look at this here. Come and visit us down here at the DMS. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Come on now, folks. You hear me? Come on out here and visit Richmond, Virginia at Discover Me Showcase on November the 21st. And you will see all those new faces that got branded up, built up, encouraged up, and they are just the real thing in front of your face. That is what I'm talking about. Yes, this is such an enormous thing. That is professionalism. Making up stories and comprehensions of, well, you know, I'm going to go to the Oscars or take a picture on the red carpet where you were at some, like, say, coffee shop with a red carpet in front of it, and you just plant yourself in a group of people with tuxedos and claim that you're at the Oscars. It's not going to work. Nor am I going to see models where they are taking selfies. I'm sorry, I do love to talk. I do love to talk, and I love to be real. And so I'm being transparent as I could possibly be. And the biggest thing is to sit there and watch these folks who are doing these selfies. Yeah, look at me. White hat, everything, flowers. I mean, shoot, what about my commercial, huh? How about this beautiful, elegant, that's rose water and ivory from White Barn. Come on, purchase a few of these. They will make your room smell so great. It'll make your skin feel so great with the essential oils that are within this candle. Yes, this is what I call the magic healing candle right here, folks. Right here, no lies. Yes, I could sit here all night and sell maybe a dozen of these things within 2 minutes. Just give me the right away and I will do it. It is exactly that. You have to know what you're selling. You have to know the product. You have to know the designer. You have to do your homework. And that even goes for any of the pro models if this is somewhere where you are lacking. It may be true that you know the essentials of becoming a model and being the big artist. But when it comes to V Smart or even SL Models and Talent Agency LLC, it's about the trends. It is about what is really trending out there. It's about what is really happening. We're not going to take something that isn't nothing and try to do something with it unless you are going to be that good. Then it will be trending. Like, I could take something, say, like this pen. The difference between this pen and this candle, I can guarantee you that if it's harder to sell because of not knowing what it is, you would know what the pen is and you could sell a gazillion of these. But when your boss says, I'm selling essential oils, I'm selling the magic stick of beautified, smelling, magnificent candle scents, that's what they want to sell. They don't want to sell a pencil. That's what I'm saying. So be professional. Be who you are in the industry. Be exactly what you say you are going to be. Be courageous. Be the fulfilling light. Be positive. Be possible. Be motivated. be branding, be, uh, whew, just don't be frustrated. Because, boy, some of us that really know this industry well, and believe me, I do know about it. There are some folks that love me, and there are some folks who may not love me. I'm not going to lie. There are some folks out there that really thought, is this really going to actually happen? Is SLMTA really going to kick off, or is this just been 3 to 6 months worth of chitter chatter that have wasted my time, and now I'm in the dumps about things? Folks, the other thing that I want you to understand in professionalism is that you have to believe in what you are doing. I believe that this has a sense. Okay, so yeah, I'm smelling it, so I know it has a sense, but how can you tell me to buy this and I cannot smell it? Like, how could I tell you to buy it without smelling it? It is my reaction. It's psychology 101. Come on, folks. Business 101. If you don't believe in what you are doing and your reaction shows it, and you have more fear than you do have love in what you believe and the reality of it, it's not going to work. If you want to become a manager at your job, what do you need to do? And sometimes it may be that you think, oh, it's all about who you know, or it's all about what you know, or whatever. But the reality is you're going to have to probably take a minute or two, go visit with the HR team to get at least a little bit of guidance of what you're going to do. And then you could tell yourself, with all the possibilities roam in there, you could tell yourself, it is possible, I am motivated, and I know that I can make it. And then you will do it. How can you tell me that you want to be a model, turn around and tell me that you're going to do this and do that, and then it does not happen? That is not professionalism. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't have time for, yes, I will do this. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for the opportunity. And then I'm sitting there like, okay, I remember I was talking with so-and-so and whatever. And I also do not have time for, and I'm going to say this very loudly right now, I honestly do not have time for unrealistic promises, meaning that I can do this, I can do that, and then it doesn't happen. Now, what I mean by that is I've had individuals speak to me in the past, business-wise, where it's like, we could do this, we could do that, we could do that other thing and this and that, but then it all boiled down to the fact that, you know, there was a disagreement somewhere in either someone thought they were doing too much of one thing and not enough of the other, or if nothing was happening over here and over there. And unfortunately, here's the other truth when it comes to me. I need to know if the benefit of actually signing the person is going to be true. And therefore, if it's taken me 5 months and all I keep hearing are actually the negatives of what's happening and there is no positivity in there, and there is, all I'm seeing is the fear approach of things, I'm at that point where I have to start stepping away, because it's really just about trying to relay that, you know enough. And if you know enough, then what you should be doing is sharing the knowledge. So if you're not guilty of sharing the knowledge, then this doesn't count for you. This counts for anyone who would try to tell somebody that, you know, for example, that this could be a scam or that could be like this. How do we not know, like, that you're working like this or not like that and all of this? And yes, I am being very, very general when I'm speaking. It's not very specific in the English language there. But that's because I'm trying to keep some language out. It's very private to me. But the point is, I have had people that would actually try to tell me what they think is actually happening versus the constructive criticism, which would actually be where the collaboration is. The professionalism is, how do we collaborate with someone? Everybody's going to have weaknesses. Again, last night I discussed about the SWOT analysis. It goes right back to that, the SWOT analysis. And if we have to do SWOT analysis on each other, then that must mean that we all have the SWOT. The strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and threats. So who's to say that one is better than the other, unless there is some other type of agenda and it was not meant. Now, of course, I'm using a little bit of spiritualism here, but Psychology 101, a lot of times in the subconscious, if you have some other type of things going on and they are not aligned with what your agenda is, instead of just accepting what is, guess what? Then you start, not only are you living in the fear and that, but you're kind of stuck in a loop because you're expecting everybody, if that person gives up on you or whatever the case is, and the next person, you're going to try it with them, and you just get stuck in these loops. It's kind of like a relationship where you just keep going with failed friendships, failed relationships, failed marriages, or whatever, and you find out that you're in this time loop that you just can't get out of, you know? Well, you have to really focus on your SWOT analysis. It ain't just a business thing here. Every person has a SWOT analysis, meaning we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses, we all have the opportunities, and we all have the threats. That we have to learn how to live away from the threats to make more opportunities happen, and we have to learn to live through the weaknesses to build our strength. And that's how that all pans out. That's the short end of all of this, okay? So I hope that I made myself clear of what it is that I am looking for specifically in the ramifications of what professionalism is. And that will be it for tonight. Now, a real quick recap. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing an improv, probably 2 of them. They're going to be 2 separate videos. I'm going to also do a tutorial of what it is that I'm expecting in a interview/audition. I'm going to use the music analysis for that. And then I'm going to also do another video relating to SL Models and Talent Agency LLC and what I call Psychology 101 for new faces within the industry, where the SWOT analysis can actually take hold and how you can learn from that analysis is to build up yourself, okay? And I think that is where I'll leave it for tomorrow. And that's even if I can get through all of these recordings. I typically end up being at 50 minutes, and that's where I was tonight. So I apologize, but I love to speak. Until tomorrow, have a blessed night.